What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. And today, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see exactly what I'm doing here in order. But in case you're not, either way, you can go over it. But the first thing we're going to do, let's go over my fantasy league, which I'm currently losing by 16 points, even though I've been winning the past week. I blew it. But we got 6 days left of this round, so hopefully I can come back. We'll see what happens there. And then we're going to review yesterday's NHL games, go over the NHL standings, and then go over my prediction for tomorrow's games. NHL games. And USHL, the USHL game tomorrow as well. So, what we're going to do, but before we do that, I got a couple shout outs to do. All my social medias, my Spotify, my Twitch Discord, USHL discussion group is 5.2 thousand USHL fans, a group that I made myself. And Saints for Life Facebook group, about 1,000 to be fighting Saints fans. About a paragraph and a half of who I am and what I do here. Another paragraph if you have any comments, questions, you can this podcast, how to contact me, and much more linked in this description of this podcast episode and previous one. So check out the description of this podcast. Ready? Subscribe to this podcast if you like this podcast, like this video if you like this episode in particular, and Angel Mondays. Follow this podcast, watch our Spotify, the same thing, subscribing on YouTube. Both would be great, but one would. And turn notifications to this channel on YouTube if you haven't already. The only way you know right after I upload a video. So, with that being said, let's get into the fantasy here. I am losing right now. So I'm the last person to get in the winners bracket. There's 4 teams in the winners bracket, 6 in the consolation bracket. I'm number 4 in the league. I was winning for the first 7 days. Now I sold. I'm down 134.2 to 118.8. My top performers are Brock Besser, Ryan Hopkins, Matthias Ekholm. His top performers are Nico Heischer, Valen Truska, and Jordan Binnington. We need to lock in. Lock in. Salmon Slayers are smacking the body as per usual. 173.2 to 114.1. Salmon Slayers top performance Phil Gustafson, Noah Dobson, Tomas Harley. And the boys top performance Phil Forsberg, Matt Boldy, and Bo Horvat. And then in the consolation bracket, we got Toronto Maple Leafs beating Daniels Darren team 136.1, 106.2. Daniels Darren team's top performers is John Tavares, Tomas Huddle, and Hale. Toronto Maple Leafs top performers are Austin Matthews. That makes sense. Dougie Browski, Jake Onger. And then Glizzy's beating Justice Scary team 92.4 to 69.4. Glizzy's top performers is Vasilevsky, Justin Falk, Sidney Crosby. Justice Scary team top performers is Evan Bouchard, Kevin Fiala, and Elias Pettersson. And Taco now overtook in the lead of Overseas Smart Team 87.2 to 81. Taco's top performer team of Jack Hyman, Connor Bedard, Steve Smart team top performer Jack Eichel, Nylander, Rasmus Anderson. So we're going to see what goes down here, but yeah. So if you're hearing background noise, I don't know if you will, you shouldn't, but just in case, I'll let you know. So let's go ahead and review yesterday's NHL games, shall we? The Blackhawks outburst for 7 goals. The game after they officially got eliminated for the playoffs, they decided to score 7 goals on home ice, defeat the Flyers. But a game for the Blackhawks, but I think it's a goal. So yeah. That was a demolition. That was yeah. I'm gonna watch a video real quick. My phone. Okay, so yeah. Now I'm gonna open the NHL app real quick. I'm just opening the NHL app so I can look at the goalie stats and stuff. I'm gonna check the scores real quick that are happening right now. Wild have yet to score a goal in Dallas because let's see, Drake Andre made 31 saves. Terrible for my fantasy. I'm facing somebody in my other fantasy league that is um yeah, because in my other fantasy league I'm facing somebody with Drake Andre. So with that being said, and I'm already down by like 16 to them, bro. Oh my God, it's my family league. Actually, like infuriating, bro. I'm losing 227 to 191. Canucks beat the Devils in a shootout. Blue Jacket beat the Islanders in a shootout, bro. I suck at predicting games. I lost both the games so far in shootout. But yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. For sure. Tyler Petuzzi for the Blackhawks got 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Donato got 2 goals. And then Maroon got 1 goal and 1 assist. Better led up 7 goals and 29 shots against, which is say not his best performance. And then Spencer Knight led up 4 goals and 29 shots. So not a horrendous performance, not great, but the Sabres upset the Jets in Winnipeg 5-3. Jets outshoot the Sabres 36 to 17. James Reimer makes 33 saves and 36 shots against in the show steal of a performance there in Winnipeg. Comley. Eric Comley let up 5 goals. Is it empty nets? Yes. So he let up 4 goals and 16 shots. Reimer makes 36 saves. Goaltending outweigh goaltending that night. And the Jets get upset, even though they heavily outplayed the Sabres. The Panthers were trailing the Penguins like basically all game. They tie it up, go to overtime. They'll go in overtime in the shootout. They pick up the 2 points. Not the Panthers' prettiest win overall, but they get the job done. Reinhardt gets the first 2 goals for the Panthers, including the opening goal and then the game-tying goal. Actually, to bring it back within one, Lundell tied it up in the third period, and then shootout when at Barkov. I'm gonna go blow my nose real quick. Hold up. Yep. Right back to the action here. The Blues stay hot and they extend their win streak to 6 games. The Blues defeat the Preds 4-1, 31 saves and 32 shots against Bennington. Great performance from him. The Blues are trying to extend the cushion for a wild card spot. The Knights take care of business on home ice versus the Lightning. 35 saves on 37 shots against. For Ilya Samsonov, as both the Knights goaltenders performing great. They're looking like a top contender to come out of the West. But the Hurricanes look to get back at the right track after getting smacked by the Kings. They get the job done 5-2 on the road versus the Ducks, who shot to 37 apiece. 35 saves and 37 shots against Freddie Anderson. In the W for the Hurricanes, 4 goals allowed for 36 shots against Lucas Dostal. Performance for the Hurricane on offense side of the puck at least. And the Kings score 7 goals in 2 straight games, both at home, which makes sense for the Kings. This time 7-2 over the Bruins. They outscored their opponents 14-4 in the last 2 games. Against the Hurricane and the Bruins. Both at home. So yeah, that was interesting. Very interesting. The Kings are pretty hot right now. They're really good at analytics. Alright, lock in. Lock in, guys. Lock in. Okay. So we're gonna go to the standings here since it's NHL Monday. NHL Monday. We looked at the USHL standings yesterday for USHL Sunday. In case you didn't know. My cat would chew on a sock. Okay, so let's start the Atlantic Division as per usual. Number one in the Atlantic is the Florida Panthers, a record of 43, 25, and 3 for 89 points, 6 and 4 in the last 10. They won the most recent game. The Panthers, they're looking very dominant. And I wouldn't say dominant, but they're looking good. All right, they're picking up wins at a pretty high rate. Sergei Bobrovsky's looking really, really good. He's been a world class, especially since Spencer Knight got traded. But I will say that Seth Jones have looked good for the Panthers, but not phenomenal. Like, he's done his job. Top, second, bottom four pair defenseman, right? He did his job. But, like him to be better. For giving up your future goalie, goalie of the future. So let's see what he does there. But yeah, like it's like you give up your future, your goalie of the future for a guy that's not even doing that great. I don't know. Maybe do something for the playoffs that they need, but let's see. It does help the defensive depth though, because on paper it wasn't the greatest. But the offense is still producing at a high level. They still have let up less than 200 goals, which is impressive for the season. At this point, it's like Bobrovsky's really starting to pick it up. How tired will they get down the stretch? Will Seth Jones seem to will he expose himself? There's quite a bit of question with the Panther team heading into the playoffs, but they're still a Florida Panthers at the end of the day. They could win a couple of rounds, get to the conference finals, and then from there, I never know. But we're going to have to see how they're looking like coming in the playoffs before I really start to assume things with the Panthers. But they're on my radar for one of the top teams to come out of the East this year. For number 2 is the Toronto Maple Leafs. 42, 25, and 3 for 87 points, 4, 5, 1 the last 10. They're looking really shaky right now. Both the goaltenders have been great. That's a constant. The defense has been shaky. Definitely, and the offense has been pretty inconsistent. It's been pretty decent. They have been getting more forward scoring, which is very good for the Leafs. That's what they needed, really. But now the top end scorers are not producing super high outside of, on the consistent basis, William Nylander. Austin Matthews having a down year especially for his standards. Mitch Marner is doing pretty good for himself, but John Tavares is a good second line center for this team. But like they don't, they just need an all around consistent performance from top 6 and bottom 6 at the same time. So kind of similar to what the Panthers had earlier this year, where either the defense is really good and the goaltender was really bad, or vice versa. This year, for the Leafs, it's either the top 6 is really good, bottom 6 is garbage, or the bottom 6 is starting to pick it up, but the top 6 is starting to kind of fall off. It's really just they need to find a constant when they come to that, when they're scoring, how they're going to get to scoring, when they're going to get to scoring, are they going to be able to play four lines comfortably? What are we looking like when it comes to the forward core? I don't know how that's going to go in playoff time. But we'll have to see what they do down the stretch here. But Leafs are 2 points behind the Panthers with the game in hand. So let's see what they do with that game in hand. The Lightning are right there too. They are 40, 25, and 5 for 85 points. But 4-1 the last 10. They just lost to the Knights after losing to the Hockey Club. 2-game losing streak, but I'm not worried about the Lightning. They'll be fine. They're a bit of a sleeper team heading in the playoffs. I only say a sleeper team at this point. People are starting to catch on, but in the Metropolitan Division, number 1, the first and only team in the NHL to clinch a playoff spot at this point. Washington Capitals 47-15-8 for 102 points. 9-1 in the last 10, 4-game winning streak. The team looks dominant, puts the puck in the net whenever they feel like it. You keep the puck out of the net. Top three. Logan Thompson's been a top three goalie consistently from start to finish this season. Defense has been locked down. They can put any line out there and feel comfortable. They're good to have good star power. Stone's been impressive. Theo Dubois been doing what he's expected to do and much better, honestly, in his role, what he's supposed to do. Kind of Michael's really broken out this year. Alexei Protas has been his number one in plus minus this season. Ovechkin has 35 goals right now at age 39, something like that, 40 maybe even at this point. He's cooking right now. Top end talent, they got it. Bottom six, they got it. Consistency, they've got it. The defense from the first pairing, second pairing, third pairing, all can shut you down on a consistent basis. And Logan Thompson's a brick wall in net. This team's looking really dangerous right now, and I could see this team making a bit of a run as well if they can put it all together and they can continue to get consistent goal scoring, which they have been doing all season long, which is why they were the first team to not only clinch a playoff spot but to get 100 points this season. They have 102 points right now, rocking in number one in the Metro pretty comfortably. But number two is Carolina Hurricanes, 43, 23, and 4 for 90 points, 9-1 in the last 10. They got smacked at the Kings. They were on a 7-game win streak, and then they got smacked 7-2 versus the Kings in LA. And then just picked up a huge 5-2 W over the Ducks. They're looking good. They're scoring at a high rate, which has been the problem coming the playoff time. Is it gonna carry over to the playoffs? We don't know, but they're likely playing the Devils in the first round. Banged up Devils at that. So we're going to see what have been the problem for the past few years. It's a lack of star power, and they had Mikko Rantanen. He didn't want to be there, and he wasn't performing well, so that didn't work. That's why they gouged Jake Guentzel a couple years ago, and he wasn't even enough. So they need people like Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, Andrei Snechkov, those guys to step up during the playoffs and be able to put the puck in the net on a consistent basis. That's what they need. They have good depth. Sebastian Aho can get you 80 to 90 points in a season when playing Selke level defense. At consistent basis as well. Great two-way player. Defense has been shut down when it feels like it. Goaltending's been great as of late. Freddie Anderson just played a ridiculous game versus Anaheim last night. So we'll see if the goaltending can stay consistent and they can get consistent goal scoring when they can get goal scoring when they need to. The two main concerns for the Hurricanes, if they both go right, they can make a cup run. If they don't, which they haven't been late the past few years, one of those two things haven't been going right or both, but we're gonna have to see what they do come to the playoff time. I'm gonna predict that they do get past the Devils since the Devils are so banged up. If they do end up playing the Capitals, which will in the second round, which is what it's lining up to be right now, all the Hurricanes are going to be able to put the puck in the net when they need to compared to a Capitals team that has been able to do so. We're going to have to see how that is able to go for them. Number 3 is the Metropolitan Division is the New Jersey Devils, 37, 28, and 7 for 81 points, 4-5-1 in the last 10 for the New Jersey Devils. And the Devils, really, it's just been, they've been banged up. Markstrom's been pretty decent. Jake Allen's been one of the most underrated goalies in the league this year. He's been really, really good when he's playing. He has been. He's been really good when he's playing. I'm impressed with them. Defense has been pretty bad since they're banged up. The forward core, Jester Bratt's been phenomenal. Nico Hischier's been really good. Meyer's been hit or miss, but good for the most part. They are definitely missing Jack Hughes a lot, but we'll see what the Devils can do. But they're definitely shaky. You can tell they're definitely showing weaknesses without Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton, and either Siegenthaler or Kovacevic. Either one of those two. I don't remember who that IR, but one of those two. On the wild card, number 1 is the Ottawa Senators, number 2 is Canadiens, and right outside is the Islanders, Rangers, Blue Jackets, Red Wings, Bruins, Penguins, Flyers, Sabres. Down the line there. So for my Atlantic Division prediction, I think the Panthers are going to end up getting it. They're winning at a more consistent rate. They're getting offensive production from up top to bottom of the lineup right now. They have a 4-point cushion over the Lightning, while they do have a game in hand. But I still think with the 4 points they have the 4-point cushion they have in Tampa Bay, they control their own fate. I think the Panthers are going to do good when controlling their own fate. Give me the Panthers to hold on to the Atlantic Division lead. Number 2, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look at number 2. in the Atlantic. Number 3, the Leafs. So yeah, there's that. And then in the Metro, number 1, Washington. They have a 12-point cushion over Carolina, with 12 games left to play for both of those teams. So, no. Yeah, it's Washington's on a 4-game win streak right now, looking like one of the hottest teams in the NHL per usual. So they don't seem to be losing anytime soon. So Hurricanes really need the win. Probably about 8 or 9 of the last 12 games, and they need the Capitals to lose quite a few. They need to win a lot of games, basically, Hurricane. They need to win a majority of their last remaining 12 games and need help from the Capitals if they want to win the Metro. Looking unlikely. Capitals looking really, really good right now, but we're going to have to see with the Hurricanes with that 7-game win streak they just went on, pulled themselves within reach of the number 1 in the Metro, but it looking like it's still very unlikely to happen. But yeah, and then number 2, Hurricanes. Then number 3, the Devils. I think the Devils are just kind of stuck there, no man's land right now. Number 3 in the Metro. Too far away from the Hurricanes to overtake them. Hurricanes are 2 games in hand with 9 extra points, but the next closest team is the Islanders with 2 games in hand, I will say, with 7 less points. So, yeah, but my 2 wildcard teams right now, probably going to pick the Senators, get wildcard 1. They're looking really good right now. And number 2, the Canadians. They're very, very physical. They grind out games. They have good top-end talent. They have good depth. They have good defense. Goaltending has been hit or miss, but it's been good for the most part. I think it's going to be good enough to get the job done for the Canadians down the stretch. So, yeah. Funny would it be if the Islanders decided to win them at the playoffs again, and then the Pirates get smacked by the Capitals in the first round. It's inevitable. It's basically inevitable at this point. It's always with the freaking Islanders, bro. They'll be mediocre as possible throughout the rest of the season. They'll win some huge games on the stretch, squeak in the wild card 2, face the top team in the East, and get smacked in 5 games. That's usually how it goes for the Islanders. It looked like it might happen again. They're just gonna be stuck in wild card 2. They're gonna stuck being a wild card team for the rest of the franchise because Lou Lamoriello refuses to sell. And say, you know what? I'd rather just squeak into the playoffs, get smacked every single year, than actually sell and then rebuild and then be top tier cup contenders. But you know what? You do you, I guess. You know what? Whatever. Your little heart desires, you can do that. Whatever suits you. Whatever suits you, there, buddy. But yeah. So if we look at the West standings here, number 1 in the Central is the Winnipeg Jets. They're rocking a record of 48, 19, and 4 for 100 points, 6 and 4 in the last 10. This is my Stanley Cup pick, in my opinion. They have the best 5-5 defense, the best power play, top 15 penalty kill, a great offense, great consistent offense, and the best goaltender in the league, and a great coach. And they've been the playoffs a couple of years in a row now. Do they have deep playoff experience? Not really. Have they been to the playoffs a couple of times in a row? Yes. Do I believe that the Winnipeg Jets can't do nothing in the playoffs? No, I'm not one of those people that believe that the Jets can't do anything in playoffs, obviously. But overall, so I think they're gonna break through. I think we're gonna prove a lot of people wrong. A lot of people count the Jets out, even though they've been one of the most dominant teams in the NHL this season. But I don't know. Continue to do you. Yeah, they're looking really, really nasty right now. They're showing clear flaws, but so is every other team. We get to number 2. I almost said Colorado Avalanche. I was looking at number 2 is the Dallas Stars, 44, 21, and 4 for 92 points. 6-2 and 2 in the last 10. They've been winning games, but not in the prettiest fashion. They've gotten outplayed a couple times while still being able to pick up wins some way, shape, somehow, some way. I mean, that's all that matters. Is pick up wins, but they lost to the Avalanche while getting quite heavily outplayed. Avalanche dominated them. I wouldn't say dominated them, but controlled the pace of that game for a lot of the time. And I think that first round matchup is kind of inevitable at this point. So that first round matchup that's gonna happen, more likely. It is gonna. I think the Avalanche will be able to control the pace of that series. And number 3 is the Colorado Avalanche, 43, 25, 30 for 99 points. 8-1-1 in the last 10, 2-game win streak. They're looking like one of the best teams in hockey throughout the last 10 to 15 games. I have to blow my nose again, man. Bugging me. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Avalanche looking nasty. Said this for a while, for past like a couple weeks, honestly. Say about a week or two. I'm not a big believer in the Stars. I'm not. I just been saying that, but I haven't really been giving you reasons why. The reasons are, if you could say that, they're just trying to get the chemistry together with Mika Rantanen, that you could say that, that's fine. But what I've seen out of the Dallas Stars is getting outplayed, and then might not be getting outplayed by much. You might even be a pretty even game, but slightly outplayed. Even outplayed by the slightest bit, but getting outplayed in some way, shape, or form. And finding ways to win, which is impressive. But if they're gonna have to get past the Avalanche in the first round, it's inevitable. They're not overtaking the Jets. They're not. So it's not impossible since they do have 2 games in hand and they're only 8 points behind them. It's not impossible, but I don't think they will. Assuming that they do get the Avalanche in the first round, I said the Avalanche win. And the last time they played, Avalanche definitely dealt with the Stars. They outplayed them for basically the entire game, start to finish. They did only win in overtime, but they outplayed them by quite a bit. I think the Avalanche are gonna outmatch the Stars. They're too fast for them. They're too fast. I think the Avalanche is gonna beat the Stars. Let's see. And then if they do find a way to get past Colorado, they'll have to play Winnipeg, which I don't think they'll also be because Winnipeg's had their number. Let's see though. But the second round series, in my opinion, between the Jets and the Avalanche would be actually cinema. I think it would go to 7, but I think since how good Hellebuck's been versus the Avalanche for the past, not only just this season, but for the past couple years, I think how much the Jets have had the Avalanche number as of lately, especially when Hellebuck's in net. Give me the Jets in that series in 7 games, and then in the Western Conference Finals they play one of probably the Niagara Oilers. In the Pacific, number 1 is the Vegas Golden Knights. 42, 20, and 8 for 92 points, 6-2 and 2 in the last 10 to a game win streak. Offense, scoring a lot. Great power play, great penalty kill, great defense. Both the goaltending has been phenomenal as of late. They can get good goaltending, especially what it's been right now. I don't see a team that can beat this team in a 7-game series. The goaltending's been out of their mind. Well, I can see a team that can beat this team in 7-game series. If the Orioles, if they can get hot, they could probably do it. Jets, Avalanche, those 3 teams could probably beat them in a 7-game series. The Knights could beat all those teams in a 7-game series, but they could also get beat in a 7-game series. But we'll have to see how that goes down, though. Number 2 is the Kings. The Kings, by the way, are number 2. 39, 21, and 9 for 87 points through a game win streak. This team's going under anybody's radar. They are. Quinton Byfield has the most, is it most goals or most points? I reposted this earlier. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was on my way. Hold up, I gotta look at that. I think it's from Big Head Hockey. And it was when the Quinton Byfield the most goals in March. He's been severely underrated. He's having a breakout year. I wouldn't say breakout year, but he's been having a really good March. Adrian Kempe remains one of the most underrated players in the NHL. Anze Kopitar is really. Wait, isn't Anze Kopitar injured? Or something like that? Never mind. Hold on. Well, maybe not. Never mind. I actually don't know. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, Anze Kopitar is great. He's been great. Great two-way role. He can put the puck in the net. Dusty Kemper has been one of the most underrated goalies this season. He's been phenomenal. I could see this team pulling off an upset versus the Oilers. Will I think it happen? No. The star power, I don't think is that good. Even with Adrian Kemper and Quinton Byfield, I don't think it's enough for Draisaitl and McDavid. But yeah, speaking of Draisaitl and McDavid and Draisaitl is Edmonton Oilers sliding into the number 3 spot in the Pacific, 41, 24, and 5 for 87 points, 6-3 and 1 in the last 10. This team's been up and down. Stuart Skinner has been inconsistent as per usual. The defense has been inconsistent. The offense has been good for the most part. The power play has been pretty good. Penalty kill is bottom 3 in the league. Bottom 5 in the league, I think, something like that. Really bad. The penalty kill is going to get exposed. I don't think the Kings is the type of team to really expose them because the power play is not that good. But I think the Kings are not the right type of team to expose the Oilers. I think the Knights are the type of team to do that. Or the Kings, I don't think the Kings are going to do that. I think they're more of a defensive team. And a team with the Oilers, like, you don't want to play defensive is not the strategy. Like, you play aggressive because you can score on two. Skinner's inconsistent, the defense is inconsistent, and the penalty kill is bad. So with those three things, Oilers are exploitable. They will let you score. So if you play a defensive style like the Kings, McDavid and Draisaitl are going to score. Especially with the way Draisaitl has been playing this season, and we all know McDavid and Draisaitl are ridiculous, especially come playoff time. So, yeah, but I think the Knights, on the other hand, that's the type of team that can exploit the Oilers, but I think we'll get more into that. Actually, no, it's NHL Monday. Let's talk about that. Because the Knights, they can play both ways. Their goaltending has been phenomenal. Out of the world, both of them. Especially as of late. The defense has been locked down. The offense has been phenomenal. They'll be able to score on the Oilers. Especially the inconsistent defense, inconsistent goaltending, and bad penalty kill. Nice power play is great. Penalty kill is great. Great depth, top to bottom. They're a good team. They're a really solid team. They're one of the deeper teams in the league. And I think with that being said, I think the Knights are the type of team to exploit the Oilers. With the wild card teams, number one wild card team out of the West is the Minnesota Wild with a record of 40, 25, and 5 for 85 points. 6-3 won the last 10 3-game win streak. They're starting to actually do really good at home as of late. That's huge. That's what they needed. They need Kirill Kaprizov to get healthy. If Kirill Kaprizov is not healthy come playoff time, and they play the Knights, which is looking like what's going to happen at this point, I feel like it's kind of inevitable. They're 4 points ahead of the Blues. They're 2 games in hand, so I think they'll end up finishing above the Blues or whoever finishes second wild card. And the Knights, I don't think is going to overtake the Jets or the Stars for that matter. So I think it'll be the Knights Wild in the first round. If Kirill Kaprizov is not healthy for that series, the Wild might gonna get smacked. If Kirill Kaprizov is healthy for that series, I could see the Wild taking a couple games of that series because Kirill can score. Gustafsson's been very underrated, been a brick wall for the Wild. Their defense has been good. But the Wild, including Kirill Kaprizov, obviously, but they're pretty banged up. The second wild card team is the Blues, 37-28, 7 for 81.6 game win streak. They're nasty. And then the Canucks, Flames, Hockey Club, Ducks, Kraken, Predators, Blackhawks, Sharks behind them. Central Division ranking exactly how it is right now. Jets, the Avalanche are looking better, but I think the Stars can continue to find a way to pick up wins. Have 2 games in hand on the Avalanche. Stars finish second. Third gonna be the Avalanche, and then in the Pacific, first Knights, second Oilers, I think. Third Kings, and then the wild card teams. Number 1's gonna be the Wild. Number 2, the Blues. I'm not even trying to be like biased towards their 6-game win streak, because if they were on a 6-game win streak and I didn't look at it from this standpoint. So the Flames have been bailed out by Dustin Wolf. If it wasn't for Dustin Wolf, the Flames would be bottom feeders. Because they are like bottom 7 in the league in scoring. The top 10 in goals against. Maybe not goals against above 200, but like goals against at expected or something like that. Goals against above expected or something like that. So yeah, they can keep the puck out of the net because of Dustin Wolf. So Dustin Wolf has a bad game or whatever. Let's be honest, they're not winning. The Blues are top 15 in goal scoring and top 15 in goals defense. Keep the puck out of the net kind of thing. Yeah, the Blues the second. Monty's really turned his team around. Let's look at the predictions here for. Let me go to scoreboard real quick. Prediction for tomorrow's game. I think Ottawa's gonna defeat Buffalo. I think Ottawa is gonna realize that, come on, we need to get this win. You know, Buffalo, we need these 2 points. I think they're gonna get the job done. The Leafs are gonna defeat the Flyers. The Leafs are just too explosive. The Lightning defeat the Penguins. The Lightning all kind of angry after losing 2 straight games. Take it out on the Penguins. Carolina defeat Nashville. Carolina's looking like very, very, very good right now. Give me the Hurricanes. I think the Blues are going to defeat the Canadiens. think the Blues are just too hot right now. It's pivotal playoff implication for sure. I think the Blues are too hot right now. I think the Knights are going to defeat the Wild, which is a first round preview in my opinion, because it's looking like it's not guaranteed, but it's looking very, very, very likely that the Knights will match up with the Wild in the first round this season. So it's probably going to be a first round preview. So look for tomorrow's game if you want to see if you're either a Knights fan, you're a Wild fan. Follow tomorrow's game because that's a first round preview more than likely. I think the Jets are going to defeat the Capitals, two best teams in the NHL. Going at it. Actually, going either way. I could really see it going either way, but I think the Jets can get the job done because it's in Winnipeg. You know how good of a home team they are. I think the Avalanche are going to defeat the Red Wings. I think the Avalanche are one of the best teams in hockey as of late, so give me the Avalanche get the job done versus a struggling Red Wings team. The Flames will defeat the Kraken. The Kraken not going to be able to score very much versus Dustin Wolf and the Calgary Flames. Give me the Flames get the job done. Then the Kings defeat the Rangers. The Kings scored 14 goals in the past two games. Both games at home, and guess what this game's at home. Give me the Kings to get the job done versus the very, very struggling Rangers. And then in the lone USHL game tomorrow, I think Waterloo is going to defeat Des Moines. Waterloo just outmatches Des Moines in basically every single category. Give me Waterloo to get the job done pretty easily there. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's podcast episode. Have a great if you're morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time you're watching this. Subscribe to the channel, follow the podcast on Spotify if you like this like the channel, like this video. If you like this video episode in particular, and until Mondays, and post notifications to the channel. If you wanna know right every time I post a video, I upload a video on this channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's season 10 of episode 2 of season 10, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 3 of season 10. Peace.